Food prep is something that I'm a massive advocate of. I always encourage my clients to prep their food ahead of time so that they do manage to sort of realistically stick to all the eating habits that we're trying to ingrain with you on this plan. So the biggest problem that you have nowadays is that actually going out and buying convenience foods is, firstly, you don't really know what goes in them, so the quality takes a massive hit. If you are eating well and eating fresh quality food, it's going to cost you an astronomical amount of money. You know, I know people who eat from sort of health and wellness food companies, and their food budget just Monday to Friday alone kind of breaks the sort of £100 barrier just for themselves. So, I mean, when you think about it, you're eating 3 main meals a day. So, if you were to just prepare each meal individually, you know, you're talking sort of the cooking time, the eating time, and then the washing up. You're looking at sort of 45 minutes to an hour each meal. So, you know, if you do that 15 times a week, it pretty quickly eats into a massive chunk of the time that you've got that week. So food prep is something which I encourage people to get into the habit of. I still believe that you can prep all your meals. I do it every single Sunday in around an hour, and then that way you've got your 15 meals just ready to go, reheat them, eat them, and then away you go. You know, you're back to your desk or back to looking after your kids, whatever it is you want to do. It will literally make you an awful lot of time in your week. So in today's video, what I'm going to actually do is take you through sort of food prep 101, if you like. I'm going to show you how I do all my meals for the week. I'm going to do four days worth of food. I'm actually away on the Friday, so I'm going to be doing those 4 days. I'm going to be doing 3 different dishes, and I'm going to be doing 4 of each one. So I'll show you how you can kind of get all your proteins cooked at the same time, all your veg and everything like that, and how you can bring it together at the end and package up all your meals. So the first thing guys you want to do is, obviously, once you've got all your ingredients and everything, you worked out exactly what dishes you want to cook, you worked out exactly how many dishes you want to cook, make sure that you've got all your containers set up with the right lids from the start. Otherwise, you know, you can imagine if you go and make sure your 15 meals worth of food, your kitchen and your cooker is absolutely chock-a-block, and then you haven't got anywhere to put it, you're going to look like a bit of a donut, to be honest. So you want to have all your pots laid out with all the right lids. So obviously I'm doing 12 meals, I've got 12 pots here, all with the right lids. So literally as I go, I'm going to cook my protein, cook my carbs, cook the veg, and then they're just going to get loaded in kind of as and when. So get these set up before you start, because believe me, it'll save you a lot of stress and a lot of time further down the line. So I've got all my pots are set up with the right lids and stuff. I've got all my produce out here. I've decided what I'm going to make. So I'm going to make 4 salmon dishes. I'm going to make 4 beef dishes. I'm going to do a sort of creamy chicken with baby potatoes, a bit of tarragon and stuff. So very nice. Basically, right, I'm going to talk you through now. So if you have a look over here, you've got a kitchen cabinet in the way. That's great. Still got a kitchen cabinet in mind. I'll just show you. So anyway, here you go. Right, I've got lean minced beef here. I've got 5% beef, so I'm going to be frying that, making sort of like a chili beef with some green veg. So that's going to be like a low carb meal. I'm going to have 4 of those. I'm going to have some salmon fillets, which I'm going to do with some sweet potato cooked in coconut oil, which is going to go in the oven with the chicken and the salmon. I'm going to do like a pesto drizzle to go with that, and some green beans. And I'm going to have some baby new potatoes with my sort of creamy chicken as a kind of like higher carb option, like a post-workout one. So basically what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to peel and chop my new sweet potatoes. I'm going to get coconut oil on my salmon and my chicken, salt and pepper as well. Get those in the oven. So the chicken will cook fastest, obviously. So what you want to do is have your oven on already, and then make sure that you're basically, you know your timing. So for example, salmon fillet takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Chicken breast will take about 20 to 25 minutes. So that's going in first. Then on a separate tray, I'm just going to have my salmon. I'm going to bang it in the same oven about 5-10 minutes later. So they're all going to cook in the same oven. As soon as they're done, they're just going to get whopped straight into the pots just there. Right, so I've been cooking now for 23 minutes. I've peeled and chopped all my sweet potatoes. I've got salmon and I've got chicken breast, literally both with just coconut oil. So first of all, as I say, you need to know the cooking times of what it is you're cooking. So bottom chop, the sweet potato is just going straight in there. because that's going to take the longest. Then my chicken is going in there, and in about 10 minutes or so I'm going to bang the salmon in. I do kind of cook salmon and chicken quite often, so I do know literally off by heart how long it takes for each one to cook. So it is definitely worth sort of reading up on how long it takes, you know, at 200 degrees C, for example, for a chicken breast to cook. I can tell you that one, it's like 20-25 minutes. Salmon fillet takes 15 to about 18 minutes really, about 200 degrees, and it's kind of not overdone, it's really, really nice. So those are really good. I'm literally now just going to chuck a frying pan on, get cooking my mince, and then I'm going to chuck another pot on and get cooking the sauce for my chicken. Right, okay, so I've been cooking now for 34 minutes. I've got chickens in, sweet potatoes in, I've got my mince browning off, that's almost finished. I'm going to, well, it's almost cooked, I'm going to season that in a second and leave it to kind of cook down. Now, I was talking about sort of timings and stuff before, it's now time to put my salmon in, so that's literally now going to be 17-18 minutes, and then that, and then the chicken can be done at the same time, so they're both going to come out at that same time, so that's going to be spot on. So far, no burns, I've still got all my fingers, all is good. Right, so if you can excuse the fact we're on our knees, I've just been cooking now for just gone 52 minutes. All the protein's cooked, so my sticky beef is cooked, the salmon and the chicken is now just finished at the same time. So we're just going to take that out, stick it all into our pots, and we're going to start putting our food together. I had a bit of a drama with the world's worst potato peeler, so I'm still hoping that we get finished in under an hour, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully your potato peeler is a little bit better and you don't have the same problems I had. Anyway. Salmon. Oh, perfect with that. And then chicken, still needs sauce on top. Right, so we're going to start putting all these pots together now. I've been going for it's gone 59 minutes. Unfortunately, I'm not going to keep things under an hour, which is a bit of a pain, but as I say, had a bit of a drama with the potato peeler, so it's going to set me back a bit, but we're going to try and do it as quickly as we can anyway. So, anyway, salmon's going straight into these ones. And the cool thing about this is once you start loading it up, when you put some of your veg in, you can actually put it in, oh, why have I done that? You can actually put it in raw, because obviously when you heat your food up, you can, it cooks. So that's, again, a really convenient thing, and it keeps your food as fresh as possible. And it also means that your food prep isn't quite so sort of time consuming. So salmon's gone in there. I've then got my chicken, which I cooked before. I just chopped it up, so I'm just going to chuck one chicken breast per pot in here. So again, dead straightforward, we're just chucking that in there. All done then, so there's literally 3 different dishes here, we've got 4 dishes of each. I've got salmon and sweet potato with a pesto drizzle, I've got a creamy tarragon chicken with baby potatoes and garden peas, that's going to be like a post-workout higher carb one. And then I've got a low carb one here, which is the sticky beef with garden peas, and then I'm going to put some spinach on that as well. So yeah, basically that's at 1 hour 9 minutes, and that's all now sorted. I've literally just got to blitz through this washing up, because obviously that is included in the time. So I'm going to do that. Right guys, so all finished now. As I say, 12 meals there, 3 completely different dishes. We've got 3 different proteins, 3 different carb sources. 1 hour, just over 1 hour and 14 minutes it's taken me to prepare all this food. As I say, I'd usually do sort of 15 for the week, but I'm away on the Friday, so the food's going to be covered at where I'm going, so just the 12. But one of the really cool things about this is all these meals that I've cooked. My shopping bill for this was it was only £22, so that works out at just over £1.80 per meal. So it's great value. You end up eating really great food, really healthy food as well. You know exactly what's gone in it, and you save yourself an absolute fortune as well. You can do it on a realistic budget. So the great thing is now I'm absolutely stocked up and prepared for the week. As I said at the start, in my opinion, it's never the eating the healthy food that beats people. when they try and stick to diets and eating routines and things like that. It's the constant prep, preparing food, eating it, and then cleaning up. So that whole chore that we've just gone through there, going over that over and over and over and over again every meal, it's just so much easier just to grab a sandwich and get back to your desk, or to throw some toast in the toast when you get in from work and you're tired. So I know, for example, when I get in on late on an evening, I can just quickly heat one of these up, bang, and away I go. I'm eating a healthy meal. So it saves me bag loads of time. It saves me an awful lot of money, and I know 100% that I'm eating the perfect nutrients for what I'm trying to do in terms of my busy lifestyle and my workouts as well.